URL, right? So here I'm writing a path. And what is the path I'm giving? View 6. View 6, comma. What is the name of the view? View 6 here. See what you're learning? DTL, DJANGO template language. DTL is a collection of tags. Okay. And if you want to insert Python code within HTML, if you want to insert Python code within HTML, you insert it by using tag, DTL tags. You can develop your own tags. Understood? Right. So this is a path I've given. But now see here, see what will happen just here. Okay, just go back and refresh. Now this is view. I just write here view 6. And if I run this view 6, now you can see unhashable type called which one? List. Immediately it is given what? Error. Immediately it is given what? Error. It means, is it possible to read a specific value? Is it possible to read a specific value? Now this is your view, right? This is your template, right? You cannot read directly value by using what? Index. Directly you cannot give index. Suppose I just removed this. Okay, I just removed this. A colon E, I have given that. So views.py, see here, A is a key and A is a value. A is a key and A is what here? Value, right? Okay. The next is in the DTL, I just write A. What is the name of the list? A. I'm writing here A dot. I said A dot 0. Can I write here A dot 0? I said A dot. So dot, generally dot is called which dot is called as which operator? Generally dot is called as which operator? Dot. Generally dot is called which operator? Tell me, dot is called which operator? Member? Dot is called as which operator here? Member access operator. Context. Yes. A, comma A, right? Now A is which type here? List type. What is the A is a list type? A is a list. What is the A is a list. But how you are trying to access? How you are trying to access now dot? I used which one here? Dot. Actually dot is called as which operator here? Member access operator. Dot is called which operator? Member access operator. Now in DTL, what I'm doing, I said A colon. Oh, sorry. This is colon here. I'm not sent with that. Now refresh this. The first value of list is what here? 10. So dot is called as which operator here? Member access operator. Generally you call it as which operator? Member access operator. But which member are you accessing from this list? First member. And how this first member is referred with? Index. How this first member is referred with? Index. What is the name of this here? 0. But you cannot write as A of 0. If you are writing it as A of 0, then immediately it is given what? Error. It is given syntax error, could not parse the remainder, saying that 0. So whenever you want to access any member from the collection, you need to access that member by using which operator? Dot operator. Dot operator. Dot 0. 0 means referring to which value? First value. It is referring to first value. If I am writing here some 3, it is referring to which value? Fourth value. Because index starts at 0. Now this is which value? Fourth value. This is what here? Fourth value. I'm just writing a first value and fourth value. It is referred by using what? Dot. Oh, so fourth value of list is what? 40. First value of list is what? 10. So always you don't use for loop, because if you want to read all the values, then only use which loop? For loop. But if you want to read a specific value, then use which operator? Dot. For example, this is a list. Then suppose you have a dictionary is there. What is there here? Dictionary. No, B is there. No, B is called as a dictionary. Okay, then here I'm saying X, the value of X is 10. The value of y is what here? 20. The value of z is what here? 30. So I'm sending two context variables. One is a B and one more is what? B. So B is a key and B is what here? Value. So A is which type here? List. But B is which type here? A is which type here? List. But B is which type here? Dictionary. So from this dictionary, I want to read Y value. From this dictionary, I want to read which value? Y value. Okay, Y value or X value I want to read. Okay, I'm writing H2. Okay, H2. So value of which one? X. Then how can I get the value of X? B dot. Then insert variable. What is that? B dot. What is the name of the member? X. B dot X. What is X is here? Key. And what is a B here? Dictionary. What is A here? List. What is the member you are accessing? Zero member. Which member are you accessing here? 3. But in this, you are accessing which member? X value. You are accessing which value? X value. You can see value of X is what? 10. Value of X is a 10. Okay, I want to access Z value. I want to access Z value. Then how can you access Z value? Right? You can access the Z value. Now this is a value of Z. B dot Z. So dot is called as which operator? Member access operator. Now whichever member you want to access it, just use index for list and key for what? Dictionary. Index for list and key for dictionary. Is it clear? So for loop is to iterate all the values, but you don't want to iterate all the values. You want to iterate individual values. No slicing. No slicing here. Slicing कब use करते हैं यार? Huh? When you use a slicing, where you do slicing? Dot means member access. How many members you can access? Only one member. You want to access multiple members? Go for loop and iterate all the values. You want to do slicing and all the things, write in view and send it to what? Template. Okay, right? Yes. Okay, now this is reading an individual. Reading what here? Individual. Right? Understood this one? How to read values from the context you understood? Right? So from dictionary as well as from list. From dictionary as well as from list. So next one is, yes, I'll copy this.
ଜରି ପକେଇବାର ଅଛି ନା ଜରି ପକେଇବାର ଅଛି ଜରି ପକେଇବାର ଅଛି ନା ଜରି ପକେଇକି ତାପରେ ପକେଇବାର
So this is looping tag. And after this, now we'll talk about So template inheritance. So next I'm talking about template inheritance. So template inheritance. So this is a template inheritance. Okay, one template can inherit. I mean reusability of templates. What I'm talking about is reusability. Reusability of what here? Templates. Reusability of templates. So the content of, see here, the content of one template can be used. The content of one template can be used inside what here? Another template in two ways. How many ways you can use it? Two ways. One is by using what? Template inheritance. Sorry. First one is what? Inheritance. Template inheritance. And second one is template. Template what? Including. Two approaches are there. Now this is nothing but inheritance. This is nothing but what? Inheritance. And this is nothing but what here? Composition. This is what? Composition. This is composition and this is what? Inheritance. Understood? Okay, inheritance. And this is composition. What is the difference? What is the difference here? Difference between inheritance and composition. You learn in Python, right? Inheritance over. Huh? In Python, inheritance is over, right? Composition is also over. Over. Over bole to over. Yes or no? Now, what is inheritance means? Acquiring the properties of one class inside another class. Parent inherit the properties. Child inherits the properties of which one? Parent. So when you talk about inheritance, it is between which types? Similar types. It is between which type? Similar. If more than one class share the same properties. Okay, then you write those properties how many times? One time. And inherit in how many classes? Multiple classes. Now, when you go for inheritance, if it is a similar types, if it is not similar types, then you go for which one? Composition. I said no, car is a vehicle. Car is a type of what? Vehicle. Bus is a type of what? Vehicle. Car and bus is a type of vehicle, similar type. Car has a engine, bus has a engine, mobile has a SIM, has a relation. Mobile is a device, electronic device. Yes. Okay, that is nothing but one object. Use the content of what? Another object. In both the ways, you are using the content of one class inside another class. But only the difference is between the similar types and between the dissimilar types. Means similar types means which is sharing the same properties and behavior. And composition is always between the different types. It means one type doesn't share the same properties of what? Another type. Then in that case, you can go for which one? Composition. That is nothing but template including. Going on. Suppose I write a code where I want to include that code inside my template. That code I want to include in my template. Include. I want to inherit some code from existing template. Inherit, include. Inherit as well as what? Include. Getting on. So include is nothing but composition and inheritance is nothing but is a relation and this is has a relation. Is a relation is there and one more is has a relation, right? But when it comes to the template inheritance, a template can inherit the properties and behavior of another template and add some extra features. Overriding, you do the concept called which one? Overriding. By using overriding, what do you do it? What is overriding? You learn overriding, right? Method overriding. What is method overriding?
ଗଦା ଗଦା କରିକି ଖାଉନି ସେଟା ବୋଲି ମନେ
Over.
ହଉଛି ଦେଖ କଣ ଦରକାର
Kadam
ବେଶୀ
Python is
କରିକି
over.
କିଏ ଖାଉନି ବୋଲି
Overriding
ଘୁଷି
means
ହଉଛି କିଏ
writing a
ଖାଇଲେ
method in which class?
ନା
Sandy class. With the
କଣ ପାଇଁ
same
କରିବି ବେଶୀ
name as a method in which class? Parent class. Why you override a method? To modify. To modify or extend functionality of which class? Base class method within the derived class. Why you override? To provide different implementation of which class? Base class within the derived class. In template inherit, now overriding is possible. In composition, overriding is possible. In composition, can you modify? No, you cannot modify it. But in inheritance, can you modify it? Yes. Composition allows to use it, but doesn't allow to what? Modify it. You're just calling it. You're just calling the methods
କି
of some other
ଖାଉଛ
object.
ସେ ଶ୍ୱାସ
You are
ନଳିଟା
including the methods
କିଛି
of some
ହବନି
other
କିଛି
object.
ବୁଝିବାରେ
But here you are inheriting and you are
ଖାଲି
also
ବହୁତ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଖାଉଛି
extending it.
ସେଥିପାଇଁ
Extending means
ତଣ୍ଟି
adding some
କାଟୁଛି
new features. But how you are doing that? By using what? Overriding.
କାଳୁ କିସ ଛାତି ସଙ୍ଗେ ସଙ୍ଗେ ତଣ୍ଟି
Inheritance
ବଜେଇଲେ
allows to
ବସିକି
modify. Inheritance allows reusability as well as what? Extensibility. Inheritance allows reusability as well as what? Extensibility. But composition allows only reusability but doesn't allows what? Extensibility. You cannot modify that container object, contained object, container and contained. What is the relation between objects within composition is container and contained. Container class and contained class. Mobile is a container. Same is what? Contained. Yes or no? Huh? So if you want to modify the SIM functionality, will you modify in mobile? No, you modify in SIM. In mobile, I want to modify the SIM functionality. Can you modify? No, you have to modify in what? SIM. But in inheritance, can I modify the SIM functionality in mobile? Yes, because you are inheriting, right? So all the functions are available here. What do you do it? Modify it by adding some new features, right? Yes. Anyway, so one reusability of templates are done in how many ways? Two ways. One is template inheritance, and one more is what? Template including. Here, including is nothing but what? Composition. This is between unrelated types, but this is between related types. So, template inheritance. First, I'm talking about template inheritance. Inheritance, generally you'll say inheritance is a process of what here? Acquiring the properties and behavior. Acquiring the properties and behavior of one template inside what? Another template. Okay, so inheritance is a process of acquiring the properties and behavior. What template contain the tags? You are using the content of one template inside what? Another template. Inside another template. In this case, template inheritance. Otherwise, I'll just write template inheritance is a process of acquiring the properties and behavior of one template inside another template. So template inheritance allows two things here. One is what? Reusability, and one more is what? Extensibility. One is reusability and one more is extensibility. So template inheritance, okay, template inheritance required. Template inheritance required. How many tags here? Two tags. Now you are trying to use one tag. See how you inherit. Generally, you inherit class by just class name, and you open the parenthesis, and then you write which class name? Parent class name. But here, everything is in the form of what? Tags only. Everything is in the form of which one? Tag. Right? Now here you are using one tag. What is the name of the tag is extends. What is the name of the tag? Extends. Extends, it followed by which name? Template name. It followed by which name? Template name. Template name is template URL or template name you can give it. Right? So template name where your template is available. So this allows to inherit one template inside what? Another template. But after inheriting, what you have to do? You want to add some features into which template? Base template. In which template? Derived template. Then you need to create one block. You need to create one block. If you want to add some new features, where in base template within derived template. It means you want to add some new features, right? Okay, you want to add some new features of which template? Parent template within what? Child template. Then how you provide new features of parent template in what? Child template. You cannot do it directly. You need to create one block. You need to create one block. Percentage. What is the name of this here? Block and followed by which one? Name. Block and block name. This is nothing but method name. You are writing a method name in which class? Parent class. And that method you override in which class? Child class. That is how you provide new functionality to which template? Base template. In which template? Child template. Okay, right? So block name and then percentage. And there is a beginning of the block. And there is also what? End of the block. So block and there is end block. So there is a block and there is what here? End block. So beginning of the block and this is what here? End of the block. Block. Why you create a block? To add? Generally, why you create a block? To add some new features. You want to add some new features in which template? Base template. In which template? Derived class template. Then how? You just give block followed by block name and then there is what? End block. क्या यार कौन सा कंट्री से आ गए यू आर फ्रॉम विच कंट्री यार मानेला मानेल मनेल मनेल not in this meeting then why you send so no problem. Okay, is frustrated might be frustrated student. Okay, frustrated student might be frustrated students, they should consult doctors. They should consult doctor. Hyperactive students will be then hyperactive बोले तो मालूम है ना. Okay, there will be too much active means पागल लोग हैं. Okay, yes, hyperactive students and this kind of students, they should consult the doctors, please. Right. So extends the template name and block name and end block. Right. Yes. So anyway, we'll talk about this template inheritance. Okay. So I don't want you to frustrate it again. So tomorrow we'll continue this. Right. Thank you. We'll see tomorrow. Please practice here. Because all this again I'll use it. At that time, you should not ask what is extends, what is block, what is for loop. फिर पूछे तो नहीं बताऊंगा मैं. ये पूरा पहले ही सीख लेना. इसलिए मैं पूरा पहले ही बता दे रहा हूँ. Okay ना? So फिर again you'll go to models. You have a model forms. So when you're learning all this, again I'll be using all this. So at that time you should not ask what is the inheritance, what is index, what is key, मैं नहीं बोलूंगा. Okay, right? Thank you. We'll see tomorrow.